Hello friend, welcome back here to my home at Seed and Sparrow Homestead. I'm Kelsey and we are hanging out in my living room. I want to share with you my most recent antique slash thrift haul I got to pick up yesterday. So Matt kept the kids for me. I got 3 glorious hours of time alone in peace and quiet, which is needed at times. And I got to fill up my cup going antiquing. It's one of my most favorite hobbies. Now I have a few things I picked up. It's not a very big haul, so I'm not quite sure how long this video will be, but I do have something we're gonna try out here once we're finished that I purchased. So we're gonna jump right into it. Let me show you what I got. Okay, where to begin? Let me start by saying, I have like kind of a mix of styles here and in my home. I don't know if eclectic is the word, it might not be the right word, but I just have like a hodgepodge of things. Nothing necessarily matches, but it all kind of goes. I don't stick to one like time period or like a certain style when it comes to antiques. I just look for things that honestly catch my eye and just feel warm and cozy to me. I love warm and cozy. I love warm tones. I love mixed metals. I love old pictures with ornate frames. I love old china. But I just want things that make my home feel homier, if that makes sense. That's what I'm going for when I'm looking for things. I try to find things that I can repurpose to use for all sorts of things, for vessels for holding things. I try and make my kids' toys look a little bit more aesthetically pleasing by finding some nice antique things that can house all of their toys and stuff. But I do have a lot of things that are merely just for pretty. I try and keep it a nice balance. I am definitely not a minimalist in my home at all, but I also don't love like a ton of clutter, so I try and keep it controlled. Controlled chaos of all of the antique things. So let's start. We're gonna start with these pewter items. So I love pewter. I don't think these are super old, but they remind me of colonial days, like Williamsburg, Virginia type vibes. I love pewter. I don't buy it a lot, honestly, because I just don't find it a lot around here. And when I do find things that have the pewter look, it's not genuine pewter. So I'm always looking for the genuine stuff. It will be stamped there on the bottom. I don't know how old these are, but they were super cheap. This little bowl here, I just thought was super cute. This was $2.50. And immediately my mind went to making this into a candle, pouring some beeswax in here, maybe some essential oils, some wicks, and having a super cute vessel here to house a candle. So I got this little guy, and then I got this cute little pewter vase. I immediately thought of just grabbing some dried florals or grasses and putting them in here for the fall, and of course using it for all of my flower arrangements throughout the spring and summer. Of course, I'm always looking out for baskets, and I saw this one, caught my eye. I like the baskets with warmer tones, and you can just tell when something's a bit more well made. This one's really solid. Now the wrapping here is broken, but it's still really solid. So this one won't be used for any of the kids' things because I want it to last a little bit longer, but I'll use it for some blankets or something here beside the couch. So I was able to hit some ongoing Labor Day sales at this place, and a few of the vendors had sales listed anywhere from like 20% all the way up to 75%. This guy was 50% off, so instead of $10, I paid $5, which I think is definitely worth it for this size basket. And it's just gonna get some blankets and it's gonna get sat on the side of the couch. So if you've been with me for a little while, you've probably heard me talk about my friend Heather. She had a YouTube channel. It was Brickhouse Kitchen and Home. I know quite a few of you went to subscribe, and a few of you have asked, is she okay? She hasn't been posting. She's totally fine. She's just pursuing some different things in her life right now. She and her husband, they flip antique furniture. They sell antiques, and she's been bringing new life to like old antique textiles, old quilts and embroidery, cross stitch, grain sacks, all sorts of things, and making them into like tote bags and pillows and jackets. So that's what she's doing right now. I can link her Instagram page down in the description. She's gonna start an Etsy shop soon with all of these new creations from antique and vintage things. So you can look for that down in the description. But they have a stand at the antique place I went to, and they're actually closing that stand. So I got to snag 75% off 2 of the items that were at their stand. She and I have very similar taste, so I always find something that I want at her stand. So I got this beauty, this teapot. I'm not sure what the make is. I don't see anything on it. I'll have to ask her if she knows. Heather, if you do watch this, let me know. Do you have any information on what this is? I have a plate. I think it may be in the same collection. But it's just lovely. I do love blues and greens. Like, I just think it's so lovely and delicate. All of the details on it. So I got this little guy. I'm probably gonna put this in my hutch just to put on display. But I thought it was just super pretty. This is the other item I got from Heather's stand. It's just a brass pot here. Oops, sorry, that was a little squeaky. But I love these. So I have a copper one actually out in the kids' toy room right now that's filled with Play-Doh. I like finding some different vessels like this that can really take a heavy beating if I can find them like at a good price. And then I will repurpose them for storing some of the kids' toys. So I didn't tell you the teapot. I think I'm gonna need a calculator, hold on. The teapot was $30, but it was 75% off, so it came down to $7.50. I honestly can't totally remember what the original cost of this was. I think it was $20, so that means it came down to $5. So that's a pretty good steal. Thank you, Heather. Okay, so we got those 4 things. Onto this one. This one is definitely a different style than everything else I have purchased. Like I said, I don't stick to one style or time period. I just go for whatever calls to my heart. So I saw this little flower sifter and I just thought it was just so homey. I don't know, it just looked cozy to me and I needed to have it. And I don't often see them in this like nice cream color with these darling little apples on them. Like, how stinking cute. I love it so much, and I just pictured it sitting on the shelves in my kitchen, just out for fall. I love this little red handle as well. I could totally use it. I would need to clean it up pretty well. There's definitely some rust on the inside, but I mean, it does function. I could use it if I needed to or wanted to, but honestly, I just purchased it because it just looked nice and cozy to me for the fall. So this guy was $6. So I did hit the copper teapot jackpot yesterday. At 3 different vendors, I found 3 different copper teapots, all very different. I do love collecting those. They don't have like a huge purpose other than I really like the way they look. I have 3 and I just added 3 more. Or maybe I only have 2. I think I only have 2. Okay, so I have 5 now total. Okay, so I think all of these were 50% off. So the first one I got, I love this one so much. It's mixed metal, so there's some brass here on the top and the spout, and then copper everywhere else. There's some brass on the handle here too, and then this wooden handle. I just love it so much. It is true copper. It's really beautiful. So this one was originally $15, so that brought it down the 50% to $7.50, which was a really good deal on a copper teapot. So I have this new one to add to my collection. And then I got this lovely, are you gonna focus? There we go. I love when it has some blue mixed in with the copper. Honestly, teapots like this were kind of the inspiration for my kitchen, having some copper in my kitchen and then having the blue cabinets. I love that like porcelain handle with the blue on it there and on the lid here. And this one had a little bit of a different shape. This one was also 15, marked 50% off, so $7.50. Love this little guy too, to add to the collection. And I got this big guy. Look at this beauty. I love this so much. It was just so different. Here on the spout, if it comes off this time, there was a little porcelain knob with the blue again. And here on the handle, a little bit of a different design from the last one. And on the lid, this one is quite large. This one I did spend a little bit more on. It was originally $24, marked down to $12. It was 50% off. But I just loved it. I thought it was so beautiful. So now I have 3 more I get to set up together. So let me know down in the comments if you are a fan of copper. Are you team patina or team shine up? I love the wear and the story it has to tell in the history. You know, it's just seen so much. I love that it has this aged patina on it. Now, the one here with the brass, you can tell they polished it up. And I like that too, but I don't know. Which one do you lean towards? I kind of lean towards the patina. I don't know, it just speaks to me. Okay, just 3 more small items. I got this cute little pot here. It is brass, but it has the just loveliest little feet here on there and these little handles. I just loved it so much. This was, I think, it's $6, so another really good buy. I got this in mind to use for either some of my houseplants or to use for like a small little flower arrangement. I recently just became a houseplant mom. I had made that decision a few weeks back. Like, I just want to get some houseplants. I had like a few, and quite honestly, I wasn't very good at it. I killed a lot of houseplants, but I decided I'm going to do better. So I have quite a few around that still need homes. So I got this guy here. So perhaps I will use it for that. Perhaps I will just keep it empty to use for flower arranging. I am not sure. But I loved it, so it came home with me. And then I got this little vessel here, which I thought was also super cute. It's very similar to the other one, except it has this design here on the side, but it also has those cute little ornate feet. Just a little guy. I think this one was $3. Love that. Again, I have some really tiny little houseplants I think I might use this guy for. So just those 2. And then this is the last thing that I picked up this round. I got this flower or floral frog. If you don't know what a floral frog is, they come in various shapes and sizes and makes. This is obviously a clear glass one. So it goes in the bottom of your vessel and it kind of holds the stems in place for a tighter like bouquet flower arrangement. I've never used one before, so I'm actually gonna go outside. We're gonna pick some flowers and we're gonna try to use this because I have found a few of these antiquing, and usually they're really expensive. This one I think was $8, so that wasn't bad. But I've seen some that are like super expensive. There was an amber one at the store that was, I think, like $40, and I was not spending that. Although I loved the amber color, it did call to me. But I used my better judgment. So these come in a few different makes. There's metal ones. There's also like pin cushion ones that do have a bunch of like little spikes on them that you can stick the stems onto that hold them in place. And then the metal ones have the same idea as this. They're just usually shaped differently. But I love the concept, and I want to see if I like using it, because if I like using it, then I might, if I find some more at a decent price, pick up a few more and have a little floral frog collection, because I just think it's fun. So with that said, let's go outside. I'm not going to show you too much of my garden because quite honestly, it's just a jungle. There's not a whole lot to see besides weeds and just utter chaos. So we're going to go to where the flowers are blooming, and we're going to pick some late summer beauty I can't believe summer is coming to a close, so I need to get some flowers in to enjoy them while they're still here. I was wrapping up and I can't believe I almost forgot to include this little guy. So I'm always looking out for little cookie cutters for around the holidays. I always make cutout cookies with my kids and sometimes my mom, and I love adding to the collection. They don't make them like this anymore. So when I saw this chicken one, I had to have it. It was $2. So this will go in the cookie cutter collection. There's not a whole lot left other than zinnias. So this may just be a zinnia arrangement, which is totally fine because there's some beauties here. I need to cut one of these and bring it closer. Just the most stunning colors. Some of them are on their way out though. So if you don't know, when you are cutting zinnias, you always want to shake them. And you want like a nice firm stem. You don't want the flower head to be like jiggling back and forth. Let me find one like that. Maybe I need to bring the camera closer. Okay, see this little guy here? Watch when I, see how he's just all floppy? Yeah, that's not gonna last long in a vase at all. It's just gonna wilt. This guy, on the other hand, see how it's nice and sturdy? Like obviously it's still, the whole thing's moving, but the flower head itself is not flopping like that one is. This one is ready to be picked. I'll grab that guy and then I just strip all of the leaves off the bottom. But can you just appreciate how amazing that color is? It's so striking. It's like, I don't even know. It's like pink and red and orange. It's just a beautiful, beautiful color. So I definitely want to save some seeds from this variety. I only see one like this, but isn't that a stunner? It has like a color variation in it. So quite honestly, slim pickings in the garden. This is just a little bit of hyssop. It just has a tinge of color to it, but still adds some interest. So I grabbed that, was able to scrounge up just a little bit of feverfew, and there's a few sprigs here of lavender, and then all these zinnias. And then I also found some salvia in the cottage garden. And then I did grab some, this is fennel, it looks like dill, but some fennel seed heads. And we will see here what I end up using, but I wanted at least a little bit to choose from. So let me find that floral frog. So, I think now, I did just want to show you. These floral frogs can either, is it gonna focus here? You can place them on the bottom. I know you're supposed to use like some sort of floral putty or something there to secure them. I mean, I guess that would be if you're like transporting them or selling them to people, but I mean, I'm not gonna do that. So I could just place it there, but it also does work in this smaller one. It doesn't go all the way down. It kind of sits suspended there on the top, but that works just fine. The stems will go all the way through, like the holes are cut all the way through this guy. So either one would work. It's just, I think this one's a bit too small for the size of these flowers. I think I'm gonna use this one, I think. Can you see? Yeah, you can see that. So I'm just sticking it into one of the holes, and it really does just like stand there, which is nice. And with the size of these stems, you might be able to fit more than one in each of those little holes. That's a bit too tall for this vessel. Let me trim this down a little bit. That's a bit better. So I'm just gonna play with this. Yeah, that's 2 in one hole. Doesn't fit like super great, but that one's a bit thicker. I'm gonna put this one towards the outside. It's a bit shorter. Don't mind my mumbling. I'm just processing out loud. Okay, quite honestly, I wasn't loving it in the big one. I'm just gonna do some experimenting here. I'm gonna put it in the small one and just give this a look-see here. Isn't that pretty? Well, this is about all I can do. It's definitely its own style because I can't put things in at the angle that I really like them to, and there's not quite enough space in each hole to get more than one stem. It just depends on how thick the stem is. So I just don't feel like I can be quite as creative as I would like to be or get exactly the look that I want to, but I mean, it's fine. It still looks pretty, just different than what I would normally do. But it does keep them nice and upright, because if I put this many in without that floral frog, they would just all be slumped over onto the side and there'd be nothing, no height here in the center. So I mean, it does its purpose. I just wish I could put things in at different angles and maybe have a little bit more space to put things, but that's a cute little arrangement to have on the table. Okay friend, that is all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed coming along with me and hanging out for a little bit this afternoon for this antique haul and this random floral arranging experiment. You have a blessed day, and I will see you next time. Take care. I actually think I might like you better. All of the leftovers. You're quite lovely.